What's happening, everybody? It's Sean, and today on Reactions to the Classics, we got a song battle. Squeeze Cool for Cats versus Stray Cats and Stray Cat Shuffle. Brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, CSN. Thank you, CSN. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us anyway, check out the Patreon link below or the patron link on the end screen. We could not do it without you. All right, what a feline battle. I'm a dog guy myself, but nothing against the cats. I grew up around them. And we're going to start out with that Squeeze tune, Cool for Cats, from the album of the same name in 1979, their second studio album. They were an English pop rock band that came to prominence in the UK during the new wave period of the late 1970s and continued recording in the 80s, 90s, and 2010s. In the UK, their singles This One, Up the Junction, and Labeled Love were top 10 chart hits. Though not as commercially successful in the US, they had American hits with Tempted, Black Coffee in Bed, and Hourglass, and were considered part of the second British invasion. So they're one of those bands, like, you know, I live in the United States, who weren't huge here. They had those couple hits, but not like they were in the UK. In the vast majority of the material, lyrics are written by Chris Difford and music by Glenn Tilbrook, who are guitarists and vocalists in the band. The duo were hailed as, quote, the heirs to Lennon and McCartney's throne during their initial popularity in the late 70s. Which, who wants that kind of pressure on them, that label, right? You want notoriety, man. You don't want that put on you. The group formed in London in 1974 and first broke up in 82, then reformed in 85 and disbanded again in 99. It's another 14-year run, man. Let's do it. All right, this song itself, Album Closer, second single, features a rare lead vocal performance from Squeeze lyricist Chris Difford, one of the only two occasions he sang lead on a Squeeze single A-side. The other was 1989's Love Circles, by the way. And it was written about the social scene the band experienced in their youth. Tilbrook recalled, originally it was written about the social circle we were moving in at the time, being young and we were almost entirely centered in our own little world. I remember hearing Chris sing those lyrics for the first time and thinking he's just nailed what our lives are about now. It's lovely to be able to look back on that and see how we were as youngsters. The title phrase, which Difford felt was a great song title, is a reference to the television series Cool for Cats. He commented in a 1979 interview, quote, I don't know if you're familiar with the phrase Cool for Cats, but it was the first rock and roll television show in England during 1959. That's where the album and single title originated. I just worked it into some personal experiences within the lyrical content. I just thought that was a cool story. Originally, the song was performed much slower and featured a different set of lyrics. However, at the request of co-producer John Wood, Difford wrote a new lyric to the backing track the band had recorded. According to Difford, he wrote a new lyric after watching the Benny Hill Show, which featured character-based musical numbers performed to a flat meter. Tilbrook felt Difford's new lyrics sounded unbelievably cool and recruited his girlfriend and her friends to contribute the female backing vocals on the chorus. I know there's a big story behind this, but I just thought it was a cool story, man. So I am going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, CSN.
The Indians send signals from the rocks above the pass. The cowboys take position in the bushes and the grass. The squaw is with the corporal, she is tied against a tree. She doesn't mind the language, it's the beating she don't need. She lets loose all the horses when the corporal is asleep. And he wakes to find the fire's dead and arrows in his axe. And Davy Crockett rides around and says it's cool for cats, it's cool for cats. The Sweeney's doing 90 cause they've got the word to go. They get a gang of villains in a shed up at Heathrow. They're counting out the fivers when the handcuffs lock again. In and out at Wandsworth with the numbers on their names. It's funny how the missus always looks a bleeding sane. And meanwhile at the station there's a couple of likely lads who swear like how's your father, and they're very cool for cats, they're cool for cats. To change the mood a little, I've been posing down the pub. I'm seeing my reflection, I'm looking slightly rough. I fancy this, I fancy that, I wanna be so flash. I'll give a little muscle and I'll spend a little cash. But all I get is bitter and a nasty little rash. And by the time I'm sober I've forgotten what I've had. And everybody tells me that it's cool to be a cat, cool for cats. questions as she hangs onto the wall. I kiss her for the first time and then I take her home. I'm invited in for coffee and I give the dog a bone. She likes to go to discos but she's never on her own. I said I'll see you later and I'll give her some old chat, but it's not like they on the TV. When it's cool for cats, it's cool for cats.
Musically, just really well put together, right, from the arrangement and instrumentation side. He just takes us through this story, right? I really like the writing on it. I mean, it starts out, he's watching a Western, then he's watching some police show. I had to like look at the notes on that. It's, you know, English and from the U.S. And so then he went down to the pub and he goes home with this girl, but she kind of falls in love with him. So he kind of tells her, I said, I'll see you later, and give her some old chat. But it's not like that on the TV when it's cool for cats. It's cool for cat. And then he draws out that cat. I'm not going to do that to you because I'm not going to put your ears to that. But really well done. All right, now we get to Stray Cat Strut. If you don't know the Stray Cats, they're just Stray Cats, but are an American rockabilly band formed in 1975 by guitarist and vocalist, of course, the great Brian Setzer, double bassist, lead rocker, and drummer Slim Jim Phantom in New York. They formed. The group had numerous hit singles in the UK, Australia, Canada, and the US. They specialize in 50s throwback type music with 80s lyrics. This is the third single released in 1981 by Arista Records in the UK, where it peaked at number 11 on the singles chart. It was taken from the band's 1981 debut album, Stray Cats. That same year, as an import into the US, it wasn't released. It peaked at number 78 on the US Disco Top 80 chart. In the US, it was released as a single the next year in late 1982, included on the Built for Speed album released that same month. So during that first release of it, I told you it made the disco, but it only went to 109 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was on the bubbling under. But now, because they already had a hit with Rock This Town, so this one made the top 10. This one went to number 3 this time around. In the October 1998 issue of Guitar World magazine, Brian Setzer's solo from this ranked 92 on the top 100 guitar solos of all time list. I will tell you right now, that absolutely blows my mind. But maybe it is. I've got a little history with Stray Cats. And right now, CSN, the patron that brought this, sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. Why didn't you tell me this? No. I don't have any history. I hated them with a passion. I absolutely hated them so much. Now, you got to remember, I was 10 or 11 years old at the time, and they played their videos on repeat on MTV. So a 10 or 11-year-old is not going to like some band that's trying to sound like their 1950s, right? And I hated them so bad, and I've never listened to them since, ever. Literally, this is the first time I've never had a reaction to them. I've never played them on a live stream, unless I'm wrong, unless I can't recall, but I don't think so. But you know what? I'm very interested to see what I'll think of it now. Because I'm not 10 or 11. I might be 40 plus years on down the line from that. So this one's going to be interesting. Let's go.
Sitting on the fence, ain't got enough dough to pay the rent. I'm flat broke, but I don't care. I strut right by with my tail in the air. Stray cat strut, I'm a ladies' cat. I'm a feeling Casanova. Hey, man, that's that. Get a shoe thrown at me from a mean a garbage can. Yeah, don't cross my path.
Here comes that guitar solo.
And I got cat style. Class and I got cat style.
All right, well, you'll be happy to know I did not hate the song this time. I totally get it. Totally get the lyrics. Very cleverly written song. Great double bass on this song as well by Lee Rocker. And a very, very good guitar solo. One of the top 100 guitar solos of all time. That seems a little out of pocket, man, but that's no shade at Brian. I know he's a great musician and really well thought of all these years later still. But, you know, he's talking about himself, sitting on a fence and probably indecision, ain't got enough dough to pay the rent. I'm flat broke, but I don't care. I strut right by with my tail in there. So he's still got that confidence. I'm a feline Casanova. Got a shoe thrown at me from a mean old man. Get my dinner from a garbage can. Yeah, don't cross my path. And just kind of going through, right? Singing the blues while the lady cats cry. Wild stray cat, you're a real gone guy. I wish I could be as carefree and wild, but I got cat class and I got cat style. It's a well done song, and I do actually like it. But do I like it better than the Squeeze song, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, because now we're at my portion of the festivities where I choose a winner. Well, I do like it, and it's turned me on the Stray Cats. I still got to go with Squeeze, Cool for Cats. Both of these songs have fantastic musical arrangements in different ways and clever lyrics. So it was a really well-positioned battle, and also got the Cat name all over it, but really well-positioned battle in these two songs. So I'm going with Squeeze, but I need your help. What do you guys think? What song wins in this one? So let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. Hit that big red subscribe button. Give CSN some love for bringing this one. He always brings fantastic battles. And until next time, guys, I will see you.